Old school cool with some modern touches, this is AGV's X3000. AGV's X3000 is a modern remake of a 1970s full-face racing helmet. And this is still going to keep the same kind of design, style and feel, while it's going to be brought into the modern world with a bit of added safety and a few other things as well. Now, that's not to say that they've made too many changes. For better or for worse, this helmet stays pretty true to that retro style and feel. The big change though is safety. In the 1970s, they made big steps in terms of safety, especially with this the original helmet from this one, but it does not compare at all with a modern full-face helmet. So thankfully, AGV have updated that while still making it true to its older style. So some of you might know the name Agostini. I'm sure that if you're watching this review, you probably know it already, but this helmet was made using input from him, a very famous rider from Italy in the 60s and 70s. So guys, this helmet, the X3000, is going to come with a recommended retail price of about 380 euros and US dollars as well. So let's get into it and have a closer look at the X3000. But first of all guys, if you want to know more about motorcycle helmets, make sure you check out our buying guide. There you can learn about the different helmet types, features, and just general stuff that you should be looking out for in a helmet. So let's start things off by looking at the shell. This is where we're going to have a few of those modern features poking through. It's going to be made out of fiberglass, strong, lightweight, this is good. Then it's going to have 3 different shell sizes, again, pretty good. Now, unfortunately, it does not have a sharp safety rating at the moment. They haven't gone around to it, but it does have the ECE rating. It has been tested by those guys, so it is a safe helmet. And we weighed this one a size L. It came in about 1,350 grams on our scales, which was pretty respectable. So let's look at something that's maybe a little bit more retro. For the better or for worse, you can tell me. Ventilation. We have nothing up top. We have nothing on the chin. There's nothing at the back. We have this one vent on the visor. You have a stopper here, rubber stopper. Take it out when you want to open it up. Don't lose it because it's easy to do. And that's that vent. So I can open up the visor now. You can see that vent goes onto these 2 inner vents, and this is going to bring air into the EPS, channeling it along the top of your head and out to the back. And it's not going to grab all that air, so a little bit is going to, I guess, circulate around your forehead. Not too strong though, not too much. Though luckily, AGV have thought of this and they've given us no chin curtain, so there's going to be a good amount of air spilling in through the bottom. Because as well we don't have a very aerodynamically shaped helmet, meaning there's not going to direct air very well away from the bottom. So ventilation is definitely retro and classic in its style and certainly in its feel. So now let's move to the visor, and this is one area where I would have really liked to see a little bit more modernity, simply because it makes life a little bit easier. The visor, very big, very large, going to give you quite a lot of space really to view from. It's not going to be Pinlock anti-fog lens prepared, it is anti-scratch. You can get a visor that has preparation for the Pinlock, doesn't come in the box. This is the dark smoke, it actually does come with a clear visor. This is a special one. And the system to open it is very simple. There is a peg and you lift the little thing out of the peg and it opens. This here on the right hand side is for show. This is how you actually open it. So you're going to lift it out and then lift it up. As detents, so you can crack it open, city position, I guess, and so on and so on. And you can also see the gasket there, the lining, creates a good seal, which is nice and good for your comfort. So changing the visor is I like modern systems. I'm going to be 100% honest. To take it off, we have this here, rubber, pull that out, you can see that there, that's just a cover. Then we need an Allen key. So let me grab my Allen key. I'm going to twist this out. And there's a few pieces here, so keep track of how many there are. Don't lose any of them. All right, so that's loose. So now we can pull out a washer. Very easy to lose. Going to keep that there. All right, so that screw is out. There's that screw. Show you again in a second. Now look closely. When I lift this off, that falls out. This is really your main kind of mechanism, and it's loose. So it's going to just fall off. Don't lose it. On black carpet, this is almost impossible to find, I know from experience. 4 pieces there. I'm going to go to this side. So 4 pieces there, quite a lot to worry about. 4 pieces on each side, and you can see that's the mechanism there. You can see how it looks without the visor. And yes, so you can see the visor there, quite large, the vent and so on. Getting this back on is again as challenging as it is to get it off. So you can see on this, we have 1 pin, 2 pins and 3 pins, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Corresponds here with 1 pin and then 2 pins on that side. So we're going to line it up. It's going to seat in. It's not going to stick or anything, just keep that in mind. You've got to hold it in place. And then finally, the rubber stopper goes on. And that is how you change the visor on the X3000. So let's take the liner out now and we'll see what's underneath on the X3000. So just grab my donut, get it up there. First of all, double D-ring, the classic system. And you can see here, this is the neck roll. This is a leather finish to it. The neck roll is the only part that is not removable and not washable, I guess, because you can't take it out anyway. So the rest can be removed, can be washed. Let's start taking it out. Underneath we get everything. It's going to be suede, very soft, very comfortable against your skin. A bit of leather finish to it as well. Pull out this other one. No emergency quick release for the cheek pads either. All right, so we've got that. You can see these are actually going to be quite thin, quite narrow. That's something that some people have found is not that comfortable. But keep it in mind. Now we can get out this head roll. So 2 snaps at the bottom here, 1 and 2, 2 here, and then we can pull out this from the top. So put this onto the side for the moment. And you can see that headliner. It's going to have leather finish up here on the brow. And then the rest is going to be the suede, soft, nice and comfortable, with a bit of mesh to allow a bit of airflow, promote a bit of airflow. You can see the mesh there. The quality of the finish here is pretty good. Nothing's really out of place. Also in the cheek pads, a good quality finish to it. All right, coming back here then onto the inside, you can see no speaker cutouts. This is from the 1970s. They didn't have Bluetooth back then. Speakers weren't going to be that useful. So you don't have that, it's not prepared for one. If you really want to, you can try and squeeze some speakers in there and try to get that to fit, though just remember it might not work out as you want it to. But you can see on the inside we have ventilation channels. Quite a few, seeing as we only have that one vent up top, and that's where it actually enters here. Directing air to the top of your head. Just going to allow it to flow a little bit, and our rider in our test said that it was actually pretty good ventilation, which we'll see in a moment. But the quality of the finish is good. It's an AGV helmet. Everything is as it should be. For our road test now, and we gave the helmet to our rider to put it through its paces. For our test, we used a few sensors to gather data as well. On the left is our helmet temperature, and the sensor has been placed inside the helmet by the ventilation channels on top of the head. In the middle is our decibel reader, and that's been placed by our rider's ear. Wind speed is on the right, and on the dash you have the speed and outside temperature. Now our rider was pretty surprised by the X3000 though. We just kind of assumed it would be pretty poor to wear, pretty poor in most areas, but our rider found it was pretty comfortable, that the ventilation was good, noise isolation was good, and also the aerodynamics. So maybe they just hit the nail on the head in the 70s with this design. So now to our test proper. Everything has been recorded at 130 kilometers per hour, and the outside temperature was 25 degrees Celsius. Wind temperature stuck around 115 kilometers per hour as well. For our results, we had strong ventilation with a difference of 0 between outside and inside temperature. Noise isolation was pretty good as well, with a decibel reading that averaged about 102 decibels. Though do keep in mind that the wind speed was kind of favourable for the X3000 in this case, but all around good results. Now if we put the results into context, they're not really fantastic. It doesn't compare well to the AGV Sport Modular, for example, but for a retro helmet, this was a pretty impressive result. I expected to give it maybe 2.5 stars at best, but we got that 3.5 results, and at 18 euros per star as well, there is a surprisingly good amount of value here. The Sport Modular again in comparison was 29 euros per star, so our road test was pretty enlightening. So if you're looking to pick up this retro-inspired classic, drop by championhelmets.com. On our website, you'll find a product bundle with a free visor of your choice, and you'll get free shipping and a lowest price guarantee. So the AGV X3000 was a surprising helmet. This retro helmet stays true to its original kind of design and feel, but it still delivers in a modern way. And especially with our road test, I was quite surprised to see how actually decent this helmet was. So guys, if you want to see anything more about AGV, you want to see anything more about retro helmets, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube to stay up to date. And thanks for watching our review of AGV's X3000. I'm Chris from Champion Helmets, and I hope to see you all next time.